Standoff at Coyote Pass. Final showdown. That is my line from both episodes. In this video, I'm going to combine episode 8 with episode 9 and give you my thoughts and opinions on it. I have my trusty alpaca notepad here, so I'm going to get straight into it. Maddie had her baby in episode 8, and Mary makes a comment about she doesn't trust Robin. We then go on to Cody talking about Jen, and he describes Jen, who is Mary's best friend, as his nemesis, and that Jen caused Mary to leave him and encouraged her in many ways to leave Cody, and that's why he feels his ultimate villain isn't actually Mary for the separation between him and Mary. It's her friend Jen who encouraged and stirred the whole situation. We then had Janelle makes a really interesting comment about Robin when she's talking with her friends, and she says sometimes you get power by giving power. And what she went on to say about that is, if you play the damsel in distress role and make out like I'm powerless, I can't do anything on my own, then someone's always got to come and rescue you and help you with stuff. And so that actually gives you power, because you're not the damsel in distress, you're playing that role, you're manipulating it, and that Robin did that. The other three wives were very independent women, and so they didn't need to ask him to help, I don't know, put up a shelf or put up curtains, or I feel scared being in the house alone, because they were very independent women. Whereas Robin was continually crying out for help over here, and I think this wife doesn't like me and I need help with this and that. And so it gave Cody's ego a boost that he continually had to go to her and help her and be, the king going to save his queen, when actually it's all weaved the web of manipulation from Robin, and that she wasn't this damsel in distress and she wasn't being bullied by the other wives, but that she would say that to him to gain control, whilst at the same time him thinking he was in control, and that she's this kind of subservient damsel in distress that he wanted, when really she's just manipulating the whole situation. And I found that very interesting. That line was very clever, that she said sometimes you get power by giving power, because you're not really giving power, but you're giving the illusion of power, and that gives you the ultimate power over someone, thinking that, because then they can't, I suppose, say oh no, but you're manipulating me, because they think you're helpless. So because they think you're so helpless and you're so dependent on them, they feel good about themselves if they're that kind of personality that wants to have someone dependent upon them. And they don't want kind of an equal relationship. They want to be more of a leader of the relationship. And that's something Cody has said before, that he had given his wives too much choice within their relationships with him, and that's why they broke down. And he should have been the leader in his household. So if you give someone the illusion that they are the leader, they have full power, but actually they don't, then you're the one that's actually in charge. Just very interesting point, I thought there. Robin and Cody wanted Mary to sign a confidentiality agreement. I didn't quite understand this. So when they were selling Coyote Pass, the end of Coyote Pass has come in these two episodes. I'm very glad about it. But when they were selling it, they wanted Mary to sign this agreement, which would have meant that if Mary didn't get a very good deal, she couldn't talk about it publicly. So she wouldn't be able to talk about the sale of Coyote Pass. But I don't know what else was in the confidentiality agreement, and then Robin and Cody never addressed it. So I don't know if they're going to talk about it in the sit down interviews that they do at the end of the season. I really didn't understand anything to do with that, to be honest. And then Cody wanted to sell the land and basically just get Mary out of the deal. So what they decided with Coyote Pass, it's just such a boring storyline. This land that they all bought together, which they never did anything with and never built on, and now the family's separated, they're gonna have to separate anyway. Cody and Janelle really wanted to sell Coyote Pass, and Janelle has been in dire straits. We all know this. She gave some money at the sale of her house to help buy Robin's home. Cody said that they paid Janelle back. Janelle said, I absolutely was not paid back, but she's just signed that money off and she's never going to get it back. Janelle then went from being a homeowner to renting. She then decided to go and live in an RV on Coyote Pass by herself, just her and her daughter. So they did that for a while. She then went back into rental. She also then lost her son in that time as well, and she's been in financial dire straits. We all know this. She's spoken about it many times. All her money is in Coyote Pass. She doesn't own anything else, and so it was getting to the point where they had a buyer, and she desperately needed the money. As we all know, it's been very well covered. And then Mary decided, I'm not happy with how we've allotted the land, so I need to change everything with how we've allotted it. And Janelle and Cody were really upset by this because they said, we want to sell the land, we've got a buyer, what are you doing stalling this now? And this isn't like they put Cody Pass up and it's sold in a year. This has been years and years of them trying to sell this land. They finally get a buyer for it, and then Mary's saying, oh no, actually I want to look at this a bit more. And I think that is because Mary has been in such denial of the land selling. So for a long time, Mary thought that her and Cody were somehow going to get back together. That was obviously encouraged by Robin, and that was never going to be. And we as the audience could see it, all the sister wives could see it. Cody kept saying, I'm not in love with you anymore, and kept saying he'd never been in love with her as well, doubling down. And so then Mary, it felt like as soon as she came to her senses and she woke up and realised, okay, I'm never getting back with him, let me actually look at this land again. By this time, it's been years of them trying to sell it. If I was Janelle, I'd be like, I can't wait for you to come to some kind of reality with your relationship with Cody when this is business we're doing here. Like, I understand you've now come to the reality and worked out, okay, like, I think he might scam me in this and I think he doesn't want to get back with me. But I can see it from Janelle's point a lot better, that Janelle kept saying to them, we need to sell the land, kept banging that drum. And then Mary, just because she's woken up from Cody, because last season, let's not forget, she was still very much team Robin and Cody. She was only coming out of that bubble a little bit. So for a lot of it, because Christine was out of the deal, it had been team Robin, Cody and Mary, and Janelle by herself when it came to Cody Pass. And now Mary has kind of seen the reality of the situation. She's going, oh, actually, I'm not on Cody and Robin's side, I'm on Janelle's side, and expecting Janelle to embrace her. And Janelle's probably thinking, it's been years I've been telling you he's not going to get back with you, we need to sell the property, I need the money from this. And all of a sudden you've come to your senses and now you're stalling everything. It's annoying. So because of that, and this is going to be this is what's going to dominate the rest of the season, you can just tell with the what's coming next week with Sister Wives, is that Cody and Janelle had a conversation about selling the land out from Mary. So not giving Mary a cut of the land because she had not really been involved in the sale, and she definitely hadn't been banging the drum because she thought she was still going to get back with Cody not that long ago, let's remember. So they were going to scam Mary, it is said in this series, said very explicitly as well. Like a lot of things in Sister Wives they allude to, but in this they're like, Cody says we were going to scam Mary, basically. Him and Janelle were going to sell the land out from Mary, not give her a fair cut, and then Robin, Cody and Janelle would have money, but Mary would have nothing from Cody Pass. So they would kind of scam her in a way because the contracts hadn't been all written up yet. So he's saying this is what we were going to do, this is what Janelle was going to do, and then Robin stepped in, saved the day, and said that's not fair to Mary, so we're absolutely not doing that, and that's why that deal didn't go ahead. But now Cody Pass has been sold. It's now done in this episode. So he's just kind of filling us in on something that happened, we don't even know how long back, and it wasn't discussed in Sister Wives at the time. It was kind of like a secret between him, Janelle and Robin, and Mary had no idea that they were going to scam her out of the money. And Janelle, it says, Mary was stalling the whole process, and I can see it from Janelle's point of view. Like, if you've got this woman here and she's been saying for years, I need the money, I'm desperate for this money, please, I'm in dire straits, and then when it gets to a point where she gets a glimmer of hope that she might be getting some money, you go, oh, wait a sec, no, that's not convenient for me, so I'm gonna, what? I don't understand why they were stalling like that. I just found that very odd that Janelle is now the villain. You can see TLC are turning it that way. That Mary expected to be scammed by Cody, but Janelle, her best friend, her sister wife, can you believe it? Janelle and Mary have never been friends, not for a second in the sister wife universe, and they've both said it. They never really got along. So don't pretend that Janelle has to have this whole loyalty to Mary. They're married all to Cody, not to each other. That's something they have said from season 1. So the whole idea that we should as an audience be shocked with Janelle Janelle wanting to sell the land out from Mary and not give her a fair share, when we know the dire straits Janelle has been in and the tragedy with her son that happened, I'd probably think, I don't care. I don't care that this woman is dragging her feet and she's just come to her senses and we're all, but no, like, I don't have time to care about that right now. There's too much other stuff going on. So that's my opinions. I basically couldn't hold it on. You know, as I said, like, we'll get into more about how Mary's the victim. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm Team Janelle. Team Janelle. I think if you see someone, and it's not fair, it's not, you know, the fair thing that was going to happen. It didn't happen. It's hypothetical. It never happened. Mary has not been scammed. She's got her fair share. But it was suggested that they should scam her. Robin and Cody and Janelle. Okay. But it never actually happened. But we need to put into perspective the dire straits Janelle was in. And I really don't think any of the Sister Wife fans are going to turn against Janelle. I don't think Janelle is going to become the villain of the series. I think people are just going to go, she had so much on her plate, so much going on. And Mary has been Team Cody and Robin for such a long time. And we can all say, which I have said in my videos, I feel great sympathy for Mary because she was the first wife. But we also have to remember she was quite cruel towards Janelle and Christine, that they were breaking up the family, they were ruining the family, they were ruining the Coyote Pass plans. And now she's come to her senses and said, I was being manipulated. I can't believe that I was team them when I should have been team the other two. It's kind of too little too late because it's been years and years. I don't think that bridge can be mended. And also they're all off living their own lives. Anyway, let's get to the Coyote Pass. So the agent, which I'll get onto him. Sorry, I can't help myself. I was like, don't mention the agent. I'm going to mention him. He's on the reality TV show. Come on. But he got them all to go to Coyote Pass. He said, let's all meet on Coyote Pass and pop some champagne that this place is sold, which is not sold because when they arrive, he's still talking about the contract. So it's not done yet anyway. So you're not going to pop a champagne until it's actually done. Like someone can put an offer in on your house. It doesn't mean your house is sold until it's complete. The whole thing has gone to completion, obviously. So that was bizarre that they were meeting before it had even been completed. But he said, let's meet on Coyote Pass. So the next bit is about Coyote Pass. They're meeting. Janelle arrives first and her voice has completely gone. So she says, I have no idea why, but I woke up this morning and I can't talk. I'm like hoarse. I don't know what's wrong with me. And her friend says it's probably because Cody's in the area. Your voice has rejected him because that's obviously her ex-husband. But I found that so interesting because your body does do stuff like that. Like your voice goes due to stress. So I would say it's a stress related thing. And people don't really talk about that enough. But some things maybe aren't a medical reason. It's a psychological reason that your body, but it becomes a medical reason. So psychologically you're stressed about something and then your voice goes, and it's not, you're not putting it on that your voice is gone. It's just that your body is so stressed and maybe tense that it's done something to your voice. So I think that's definitely caused by stress. But they, Mary then arrives, Janelle's there, they have a bit of an awkward interaction with one another. And I felt like Mary kind of wanted almost like a friendship thing. And you've been Team Robin and Cody against Janelle for so long. You can't expect her now to like embrace you. It's too bizarre. So then Janelle says, I'm going to wait in my car. It's getting a bit cold. So Janelle goes back into her car. Mary goes in her car, Robin and Cody arrive and all three of them are in their cars. They won't get out of their cars. So then the agent arrives, and when he arrives, he immediately starts talking to Cody and Robin because he's had no dealings with Mary and Janelle. And they're saying how awkward that is, that, you know, he's the agent for all of them. He's just talking to Cody, how that's a little bit strange. We then go to episode 9. And Robin says Janelle wanted to sell the property from Mary, so we're obviously keeping on that. Banging that drum. Janelle's the villain, not Cody, really. When the agent arrives, I did note his clothing because it was so odd. We would call, so he's like a real estate agent, isn't he? But in England, it's called an estate agent. And estate agents always wear suits. Suit, tie. That's what they wear, either in navy or like a silvery colour, normally not in black because that's like reserved for funerals, but they're always wearing a nicely fitted suit to say like, trust me with your property that I'm going to sell it, that this is business and I'm going to give you a good deal. Justin, the agent, arrives, and let's just also, I looked up how much Coyote Pass had sold for, $1.5 million. So Justin's getting a very good payout from this, obviously. I'm guessing it was quite difficult to sell as well, because it's such a huge piece of land. I kept saying it was quite difficult to sell, but he's going to get a cut of that 1.5 million. And he turns up to pop champagne with these women to say, we've done the sale, wearing a camouflage baseball cap, sunglasses, a t-shirt with a little shacket jacket on, and jeans. And Janelle, as he says hello to them all, he stands next to Janelle, and Janelle just goes like this, just does a full look down his body, and was obviously thinking, is this the guy we're entrusting with 1.5 million? Like, is this what's happening? And that might be very old-fashioned of me to like be judging him on what he's wearing, and he still managed to sell it, so it didn't affect his ability to sell it. So the whole idea was to go there, pop champagne. There was no champagne to pop. Also, it hadn't been sold. The Justin guy got out of contract, and I just thought, what in the reality TV is this? This isn't real. This is reality TV land. He got out a clipboard which had the contract in it and said, is everyone okay with this? Opened it up. They're not sitting down, they're standing on a piece of land. Everyone okay with this? And Janelle looks at it and goes, I'm going to need a copy of that. I'm going to need to look over that, because it's obviously the contract. And he goes, oh really? Okay. What? This is just such a reality TV show moment, I feel. TLC said to him, just dress cash, bring your clipboard, show him it and go. Like, that's what I think must have happened, because it just felt so bizarre, because you don't do that in real life. In real life, you don't turn up at the property you're selling and say, let's all cheers, I'm going to bring round the champagne, it hasn't even sold yet. As the estate agent, you're not popping champagne with your clients like that anyway. But also, you would be in a suit, you would say, like, I'll talk to you over the phone, and when the deal is completed, you don't meet up with your estate agent who sold your home and give them a hug and say thank you. Like, because it's business. It just felt way too bizarre. Then Cody and Robin got in their cars and left. They got in their cars, walked away, left. And Mary and Janelle were like, oh, okay. Like, they didn't even say goodbye. How bizarre. They didn't even say hello. They didn't say anything. Like, it was all, as soon as Justin left, they left. And then Cody said, Robin hates girl games, kind of insinuating that Janelle and Mary were maybe like playing games through their eyes, looking at Robin or something like that. Janelle goes to New Orleans with her free Kardashian friend. These notes. Janelle goes to New Orleans with her free Kardashians and their Chanel handbags. They're just very different friends for Janelle. That's all I meant by that comment, was that they were three women who looked very Kardashian-esque. I did spot Chanel handbags, and it just seems very different than Janelle. Janelle seems, she wants a flower farm. She likes like getting her hands dirty and like doing work and things, and then she's off having cocktails. We've never seen that side of Janelle, so it was just very strange. And Janelle even says that within the episode, that she hid parts of her personality over the years because of the way in which they were living. But it just seemed, they seemed very, I don't know, it was just an odd pairing of friends for me. Janelle says when Cody turned 50, that's when he gave up on the wives. I'm going to go into another rant. We're on 20 minutes. I'm sorry, but I'm just going to have to do one more little rant. And that's that Cody says he didn't give up on the family when he turned 50, but that he said, there is such a thing as male menopause. My testosterone dropped to the floor. And then he said that's why he kind of maybe gave up on the fight of the family, because he went through this male menopause. No, there is no such thing as a male menopause. Men's testosterone does like change as they get older, yes, but men can still have babies at 80 years old. There's no 80-year-old woman having a baby. It's just so insulting, and I don't even know why that comment annoyed me. It's just in general, it like red flags me. As soon as and it's quite a new thing you'll hear men say, as soon as their wife is going through the menopause, they'll go, she's going through the menopause, but so am I. Male menopause is a real thing, guys. And Cody was very serious about no doctor is going to say to a man, you're going through the menopause, ever, because it is a thing that can only happen to females. The men can go through a hormonal change, which is their testosterone drops, yes, but women, they are going through being fertile to being not fertile, infertile, and that is such a huge change within their lives, and they have so many other symptoms than just my testosterone dropped. Like, it's just such a huge thing, the menopause. And it feels like now women are finally being able to talk about the menopause. For some reason, their husbands are like piping up and saying, oh, I'm going through a male menopause as well. And I watch a YouTuber and she has been going through the menopause, and her husband in one of the videos mentioned that he's also going through the male menopause, and he thinks it's a real thing and everything. I just thought, this is such interesting timing that your wife is going through this. You're seeing she's getting maybe more attention and care that she should be getting to deal with this. It's a huge thing going through the menopause. It's not something that just takes a week and you're done. It's years and years. And, you know, fertility and women and everything like that, like, it's a huge thing to come to terms with in your life going through the menopause. For a man to just see the attention his wife's getting and going, oh, I need some of that as well. That's what I feel like it is in many cases. And it's just, this is such a pointless thing to the sister wife universe, but it's just something that just irks me when men try and say they have things that women have. And it's like a Munchausen kind of thing, isn't it? It's like if Dom was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and then all of a sudden I said, I've got bipolar as well. And I just hopped on that and started saying it'd be, you know, the care that he was getting or treatment that he was getting. It'd be like I wanted the attention from that, like a Munchausen thing, if I just lied. And sometimes I feel that when men say it's such a turn off. Like, it's just skin crawling. And me and Dom have actually spoken about this again. We've spoken about this because I just rant about it. I find it so, in my toes curl. It's just, ugh. And he also was like, yeah, it's got to be an attention thing. Like, why would a man say he's going through the thing? Like, it seems like he wants attention out of this, to be fair. And that's what I think it is. So yeah, he's basically insinuating like my 3 older wives are going through the menopause and I'm going through a male menopause, so maybe that's why our relationships didn't work out. And it also felt like a little bit of an insinuation of like, but Robin, my youngest wife, who's 6 years younger than my youngest wife of the 3, she's not going through the menopause, so we're all good. Like, I don't know, I was reading way too much into that, I know, but I just hate that when men, that's just such a, you know, when people say certain things and you're like, oh no, like, you're not for me. You know, that's one of those things when men say, I'm going through the menopause, stop, because it's normally at the same time their wife is, and because their wife is, I just think it's Munchausen. I don't like it. Anyway, Cody wants to go to therapy to be able to get the tools to communicate with his older children, he's saying. So he doesn't want to go to therapy with his older children, but he wants to get some kind of coping mechanisms he can use when he's communicating with his children. Because he said there's a lot of anger for things that they have said to him, and he thinks also they've been turned against him. And Robin says the children have been influenced to not like him, and that mothers have been brainwashing their children against Cody. Cody doesn't have a relationship, I believe, with most of his own older children. I don't know how many he actually talks to, but the ones that he was talking to, like McKelty, he doesn't talk to her anymore, so it's odd. So ones that he was seemingly okay with, he's not okay with now, and he's saying it's because they've trash talk. I don't think him, I think he's talking about Robin, that they've trash talk Robin, and Robin is his main priority, and it's too hurtful. I also found it interesting when Robin was talking about, because Robin and Cody both went on to say that they had really difficult relationships with their biological fathers, but how she said the children need to be able to have a relationship with me, and I thought, but you're not their mum. Like, I don't get that. Why do they have to have a relationship with you? I just didn't understand that. Like, if Dom had a child from, he doesn't, but if he had a child from a previous relationship and say that relationship was on the rocks, I wouldn't say, okay, you need to fix your relationship with your child, and also your child needs to fix their relationship with me. I need to be involved in this because I have no biological stakes in that. Why would I need to be involved? I just found that a little bit bizarre. It's the same as last week when Christine said I'd love to do a reunion once a year when we all come together, and Robin said no, absolutely not. It's like, well, why? I don't get it. involving yourself like so much. Cody said he's repeatedly reached out, so if he doesn't talk to the kids, it's not actually because he hasn't reached out to them, it's because they haven't reciprocated his efforts in trying to reach out to them. But then he also ended this episode, which I thought was very good, on he said, I had a lot of mean things to say about their mothers, so that didn't help. 100%. That's the crux, I think, of a lot of this, is that the children maybe didn't like the way he treated their mothers, felt their mothers were a bit neglected by him in different ways, and then he said to their mothers, I never loved you, which of course he has said to all of the women apart from Robin, and then they thought, that's too cruel, that's too harsh. Do you remember when he said to Christine, I was never attracted to you? That's horrible to say. And how many kids has she got with him? 5? So to say like I was never attracted to you is almost saying like I had to force myself to sleep with you. I was married to you via obligation. Like, oh, I just think that's just such a horrible, hateful thing to say to someone. But anyway, and he's saying that's why that he thinks actually ultimately the relationships with his children have been made difficult is because he hasn't been very nice about their mothers. Whereas Robin is saying mothers have influenced the children and parents need to be really careful what they say, because if they say the smallest thing to the child, that would turn the child against the other parent, and that's how she sees the situation. Whereas I'm more with Cody. I agree with him that I don't know how much to believe of Cody. I'm going to have to say that, because McKelty did a interview with, is it called Pop Psych? It's like a huge YouTube channel. If you're in the Sister Wife universe, you watch the video, you probably know them 100%. And her husband did an interview with them, and she said in the interview, I think my dad sometimes says things that he knows is going to basically get airtime, and that is completely over the top and dramatic, so that it kind of then the centre isn't on Robin, so that he's kind of this outlandish character and like a pantomime villain of the series, and so that no one kind of criticises Robin in any kind of way, because what he has said is so absurd and over the top. And I actually agree with her on that, because when I heard her say that, I thought, oh yeah, there are so many odd things that he says that feel quite unnatural, and so I can understand what she's saying, and in trying to like defend him in a way that don't believe everything he says. Maybe they're like really strange things or piggish things, sexist things. He doesn't actually believe those things. It's a reality TV show, and also he's trying to distract hate away as he sees it from Robin, is what McKelty was saying about it. Like sometimes she watches it and thinks he wouldn't naturally say that, whereas I'm guessing he would disagree. He would say I'm being very natural and honest on the Sister Wife universe. So it's difficult to know who to kind of believe, because it is a reality TV show at the end of the day. Anyway, 30 minutes this has been. Next week it's the apology tour. He's going to go to each of the wives, he's going to apologise. I liked that it showed Christine was with her husband for the apology tour. He didn't get Christine one-on-one by herself. I'm guessing she said, I'm not going to sit down with you without my new husband being here. And I love that they're a unit now, and they're such a strong unit that they kind of do that kind of stuff together. I just really liked that. I always found it interesting that he took Janelle to a restaurant to apologise to her, he took Christine to a restaurant to apologise to her, and he took Mary to a public park, sat on a bench. It just seemed disrespectful even in the apology, unless it's going to say Mary wanted that, because I would be like, you wined and dined them, treated them to a meal to say, oh, you better have paid for those meals, those apology meals, and yet you took me to a bench. Like, what's happening here? And then they're going to really hark on, because it's Jen, Mary's best friend, saying Janelle was going to, get Mary out of the deal and da-da-da. Yes, because Mary was team Robin and Cody for such a long time that her loyalties were with him. So Janelle probably thought, why have I got to have Mary's back when Mary's causing all these problems and disruptions, and she's been calling me selfish for the past 3 years. I don't understand why now I've got to have her back. She made her bed, now she's got to lie in it. She was team Cody and Robin for such a long time. If they are going to shun her out of the deal, okay, because she took that side, she chose a side, and now she wants to flip-flop over, I've got to have her back when I'm in dire straits financially. I'm not liking how this series is going, and we're going. Janelle has been through so much, and I feel with the loss of her son, there should be no. And I think also the Sister Wife fans, we're just not going to turn on Janelle. As much as TLC, as much as the Sister Wife franchise brand wants Janelle to be the villain of the series, we're not going to turn on Janelle. I just know we're not. She's been through too much. It's ridiculous. We're Team Janelle. Okay, that's it. So I'm going to end it here. I don't know how many more episodes we got because they were teasering the sit-down final interviews. So I'm guessing not that long, but I don't know. I'm going to end it here and I'll see you again soon. Oh, there's Dom. I'll see you again soon. The front room door was opening and it's like dark in there. So I was like, oh my God, what is that? Is it a ghost? It's Dom. I'm going to see you again soon for another video.